We turn here to our coverage of the Middle East, and here is what is happening tonight. The protest spread. There are now 51 U.S. consulates and embassies, and they are warning U.S. citizens to be extra vigilant. Our team is covering all the angles, and ABC's Lama Hassan starts us off in the streets of Cairo today.
Tonight, Diane, even at this late hour, the protests are not letting up. It has been a day of rage aimed squarely at the U.S. Security forces defending the embassy, hitting hard, firing tear gas, forcing them away. Protesters pushing forward, throwing back tear gas canisters. Well, this is as close as we can get to the U.S. embassy. The Egyptian army has just arrived outside the building. Police won't let us go anywhere near it. And even from where we are standing, you can hear the security forces firing volley after volley of tear gas. There's definitely a feeling of a crackdown about to begin. 1,300 miles away in Yemen, demonstrators climbed over a metal fence surrounding the U.S. embassy. They poured through the compound, breaking windows. Frightening scenes, but officials say the protesters did not breach more critical security inside the compound. Images of anger directed at America seen over and over again. Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Fueling this fury, that online movie called The Innocence of Muslims, which denigrates the Prophet Muhammad. It was produced in America. In Cairo, people in the streets telling us that the American government is to blame. We asked them what they want America to do. They want an official apology from President Obama. On Twitter, a spat broke out between the U.S. Embassy and the ruling Egyptian political party, the Muslim Brotherhood. The embassy warning the Brotherhood that it was reading in Arabic tweets sent from their account, supporting the protesters. By the way, have you checked out your own Arabic feeds? I hope you know we read those too. Tomorrow, the Muslim Brotherhood is calling for people to protest peacefully and not outside the U.S. Embassy. But Diane, we know these demonstrations are unpredictable. The city is on edge.
Thank you so much, Lama. Now we turn to that tragedy in Libya. We learned more today about those 5 hours under siege in the dark of night, ending in the deaths of U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 other Americans. There have been arrests in Libya tonight, and we have 2 reports. We'll start with ABC's Jeffrey Kaufman on the ground. Jeffrey.
Good evening, Diane. At least one of the militants believed to be involved in that attack that killed the U.S. ambassador and 3 others has been arrested. That, according to Libya's new prime minister, who is determined to show that he's cooperating with the United States. He says more arrests will follow. Meanwhile, 2 U.S. destroyers have been positioned off the coast of Libya, and an elite team of 50 U.S. Marines has arrived here in Tripoli to guard the U.S. embassy and to assess security. Non-essential personnel have been evacuated to Germany. The mood here on the streets, calm but tense. People here coming up to us and saying, "Please tell the people in America we are so sorry." Now let's turn to my colleague Martha Raditz with more on what we are learning about security that night.
Jeffrey, this new view of the consulate where that 5-hour attack raged shows few signs of security before the attack. The small guard shack just inside the compound easily breached, cutting a clear path to the main building where 2 of the Americans were killed. 2 others were killed in the house used as a safe haven, including at least 1 former Navy SEAL.
We did evaluate the threat stream, and we determined that the security at Benghazi was appropriate for what we knew.
But just the day before the attack, there were warning signs. Al-Qaeda's leader urging Libyans to retaliate against Americans for the death of a Libyan-born militant. And the State Department was aware that that anti-Muslim movie was airing on Egyptian TV. Yet there were no warnings about it to other U.S. missions.
Why there weren't warnings about the movie is a big question tonight, given that whenever there has been any denigration of the Prophet Muhammad in cartoons or writings, demonstrations and violence have almost always followed, Diane.